Hello there! Hey guys, what's happening? It's BigJackFilms here. Welcome to another live stream. I just have to turn on the other monitor. I completely forgot. I'm so sorry. But how's everybody doing today? Welcome. So a couple things. So yes, this is another editing stream on episode 3. We're just going to be looking at that. Just editing that right now. But a couple things. This is going to be kind of a short stream. There we go. Now I can see you guys. Where it's going to be mainly focusing on Anime North, which is coming up tomorrow. I'm going to be actually going down there tomorrow, get pre-registration and focus on the weekend and stuff, while also still recovering from this foot injury. Would you guys believe it's been like 5 weeks and this foot injury is still a problem? Like, I actually just finally got a new doctor's appointment in, and hopefully that's going to turn out well. There. But yeah, we got a doctor's appointment in. I'm gonna be checking my foot out and stuff, and that's gonna be happening on that end. Full screen, by the way. Nope, shit, that's not it. Hold up. There we go. So yeah, it's mainly just doing a live stream today, editing episode 3, going pretty easy today. But with that said, there's also some good news, guys. So episode 2 is done. It is done. It's finished. It's locked. I have it. It's ready to go. It's an hour and 50 minutes. It's a 2-hour episode. So, yes, it will be released on May 30th, publicly. However, I can happily announce this, guys. We're going to have the premiere of episode 2, Attack of the Clones. The review is going to be out. Mark your calendars. May 29th, Thursday, May 29th at, we're thinking actually maybe around 7 o'clock, 7 to 8 o'clock. We're going to go a little hour early, mainly because of the length, and we want to make sure everybody watches this that night and they get a good night's sleep. So we're going to have the premiere a little bit earlier than normal with episode 2 because of how long it is. So, yeah, look forward to that. That is Thursday night, May 29th at 7, 8 o'clock. We'll have a calendar ready for that. On top of that, there will be a new trailer out Friday. A new trailer for episode 2. That will be out Friday. But on top of that, this is the coolest part. Episode 2 will be released early, a week early on Patreon on Friday. So if you guys want to go subscribe to our Patreon, put in $1 or more. We're gonna go and basically have that out for Friday. This Friday, you can see the episode early. So just pay $1 or more, and you can see episode 2 early and watch it, and it's gonna be amazing. And then it's gonna come out the following week. So yeah, that's just some announcements. And on top of that, Anime North this weekend. I will be down there with all my collaborators. I'll be filming a couple episodes. I mean, I'll keep it on my leg, but like, I'm still gonna keep pushing it, no matter, even if my foot's like going to hell. Like, I'm still filming. That's how dedicated I am to filming. But with that said, on top of that, yeah, just gonna be having a good time. The weather's gonna be kind of danky, but that's okay. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that. But yeah, just a couple announcements there on that point. And speaking of point, my thoughts on Godzilla Singular Point. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it's actually a decent anime series. That's probably my favorite current theme of Godzilla. Really like the choir added to it. Also, in terms of the thumbnail, okay, so I'm 50-50 on this. I know this is going to raise a couple of questions. Hey, wanted to know, was that the Ghibli AI thumbnail? Shocking to see that. Yes. Okay. So I'm conflicted about the AI stuff, okay? Like I said, I think AI should be a tool. It should not be a way of life. It should not be a full-time thing. It should not take away from jobs from people and so on. With that said, I just do it for funsies. I just do it for the hell of it, just to try it out. And I'm not going to make it a common thing. Well, not a lot. But again, I think AI as a tool should be fine. But using it as a full-time thing, like, I'll tell you where I don't like it. I don't like it being used for full-time video essays. I don't like it being used for templates. I don't like it being used for, like, to create a full video. Like, I've noticed a lot of video essays and content creators coming up that not only are using a lot of AI-generated editing, but they're using the AI voice, and I can actually start to detect it a mile away. I can detect it, like, everywhere. And it's disheartening, and I don't trust it. However, on my end, using it for, like, quick, rushed artwork, just for funsies, for shits and giggles, using it to some capacity in areas, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. But, like, again, very minimal on that end. So for me, I don't use it a lot. I use it maybe, like, most people use it at 100% or more. I only use about maybe 5-10%, and that's where I'm comfortable with. So there you go. And the only reason I wanted was just to kind of get the tone down of this week's stream, which is mainly focused on Star Wars and Anime North. I didn't really have a visual to kind of describe it, so I just took that, which I did as a funsy thing. So that is me as an anime character. Again, I'm not going to be using it a lot, but there you go. Hope that answers that. But yeah, we're going to be editing episode 2 today. That's the main or episode 3. So there's that. Yeah, I don't like the AI trailers. That's what I'm talking about. That shit I don't like. Like, when I do a fan trailer, I try to use already established footage. I don't like using AI. I really don't. That's where it's an exception. There was a video post by Google AI on Twitter today that showed how advanced it's like showing realistic. Yeah, like, there's some that where it's convincing, but I can actually really see the difference in the quality. So there's that. But yeah, so that's I have not played Doom Dark Ages, not my thing, to be honest. Hyenas are cool. I think the baby T-Rex having fur is cool. There's my status on that. But I want to say here, but yeah, so we're just focusing on episode 3 today. I'm focusing on Revenge of the Sith, because it is a monster. I'm not even, like, assembled full of it fully yet, but I'm already gambling a monster. It's probably going to be bigger than the last 2 episodes combined. So we gotta get an advanced work on this. So again, I don't have a release date for episode 3, but it's my next priority. It's like 2 down, 1 to go. And so there's that. So the next theater experience, we're talking about it. We either want to see Final Destination or Jurassic World Rebirth. But we want to see it in what is it, the 40X, which is like the ride, basically treating it like a ride, is what I want to do. So I'm hoping to get to it at some point. Oh, what's the good news, man? Good to see that. Yeah. Also, yes, I've seen the trailer for the new trailer for Rebirth. I'm now completely sold on it. I'm really excited. So yeah, I mean, I understand the frustration. I'm all for artists. I'm all for paying artists. I'm all for the contributing and stuff. The only thing is, on my end, personally, first of all, again, I use it to a bare minimum. And second of all, to be honest, I can't afford to pay people. So I just got to use with what I got, basically. I'm not going to have it take away people's, like artwork. I appreciate that. I always try to, contribute to art and everything. But yeah, so just very much low profile on that. Yeah, what's this about the fighter? Okay, that's interesting. I spoke to the head of the theater department of my school. Hang on. And they're fully on board with the project. That's awesome. I really hope it goes through, man. Good luck. Really, really, really good on that. I'm proud of you. Never grew up with Bear in the Big Blue House. It's past my time. I like the memes, but, like, I didn't really grow up with that, so I can't really have a say. Anyway, let's get to episode 3. The Big Kahuna. This thing is massive. I'm already editing it, and, like, I'm still, like, got a few more tracks to put over it, and it's looking to be over, like, this thing's gonna be over an hour, maybe more, because it's funny, is, like, so the review of episode 2 is already a little bit long. This is going to be longer. I guarantee it's going to be longer. But let me get the share screen going here too. But yeah, guys, of course, Osiris, if you can put in the rules and regulations in the chat, as well as Honey Bear's website, would really appreciate that. So let's get to it. Let's just move this over here. There we go. So now you can see what I'm working on, and you can see me in the frame. And we're going to get started on here. There we go. Okay. Also, gotta keep my foot elevated because it is still a little bit painful. Anyway, I was just working a little bit on Revenge of the Sith. Nothing too crazy. Alright. Yeah, Gordon was cool. I have watched a little bit of Andor and what they're doing, and I really like what they're doing here. Well, actually, fun fact. Okay, this is not really a fun fact. It's kind of a depressing fact. So, they're remaking Threads. I'm not kidding. They're remaking it. Netflix has announced, from the creators of some other show that's really popular, they're going to be doing a modern retelling of Threads. The answer is simply to just, literally, I quote, to scare a whole new generation. I'm like, it's interesting. Like, I understand why the need to remake it with current political things going on right now and how you want to send the message out. I understand. I get it. I get why this story is important. I get why remaking the story is important. Here's my only problem. The remake was enough. The remake was enough to scare people. You just show that to film schools and they'll get the point. I understand why, because this was made 40 years ago and times have definitely changed in over half a century, or I think it's a century, right? So times have changed. You have to retell it in a modern set. I get it. I understand completely. However, it's just kind of weird that, like, I feel like it's going to take away from the original. I feel like, okay, well, now we have now we have a proper budget to show the horrors. I'm like, but the original had enough of a budget to where it could, like, tell that without, like, spending too much. This is something I just don't like about modern remakes. Just because you have more money doesn't mean you make it better. Like, I know I get that question a lot. Jack, if you had the proper money, you could properly remake King Kong. I don't know if I would. I think I'm fine with what I've done. I'm fine. Like, I used the technology and the budget that I had at the time to still tell a story. I still push through it. Just because you throw me more money, like, it would be nice to have more money in a current project, but in remaking a project, I don't see the appeal. So with the original Threads, it's like, they say they want to respect the original, which I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's cool. But you don't need to spend, I'm just going to say this. You could spend around the same amount they did on the original and still get a point across. The original was made, I'm thinking, like, in estimations, like maybe about $2 million. You'd still make a proper good story with that still. You could still do that on that type of money. You don't need to spend $200 million. That's why we got, as Josh says, The Day After. The Day After is like a big budget version of Threads. And can I be honest? I watched The Day After. It doesn't deliver the same vibe. It doesn't. And that's because they put more money into it. And they thought, well, more money means better quality and still get the point across. But it felt very watered down, whereas the original is gritty and like despairingly realistic. So I don't see, I mean, I understand remaking it with current times, but I also don't, I think the original's enough. And listen, I only had to watch it once and get the point. I don't ever want to watch that movie again. That movie terrified me enough to say, I'm a once-in-a-lifetime watch. I got the point. I'm not going to go watch it again. So why do you want to make me rewatch it? And yes, no, I'm going to say this right now. I'm not going to watch the remake. I'm not going to do it. I can't. Not only do not want to re-traumatize myself, but I also feel like it would do a disservice in watching the original. That's just my opinion on it. I'm not interested. I do not want to see this remake. I mean, I hope they get it right. I hope they do good, but I'm not going to watch it. And I have every right to say, you know what? I don't have to be obligated to watch something if I don't want to. So, yeah. Call me the James Rolfe on Ghostbusters 2016. I'm not doing this with Threads. There's some movies I do that. I put them on my blacklist. Say I'm not going to watch it. So there you go. There's a little news for you, man. I hope you'll take it well. I mean, again, reference purposes in terms of just you use it as a template. You use it as a template. Like, I've actually used a little bit of it for animatics, just to, like, tell the story quickly, like, with, like, storyboards and visual storyboards and stuff like that. Like, that's fine. So that way the actors know how to do stuff when we're on the day. That's where I think it's fine. But when it comes to using it for full-time stuff, not big into it. Not a fan, not into it. That's just me personally. I only use a small percentage of it. I am all for technology and advanced technology, but when it comes to some stuff, I'm like, gotta bring it back a little bit. I don't think it's also just a matter of like, we're not there yet. I don't think we as a species are there yet to where we feel comfortable with it being there. Because then we're gonna look back on it years later and say, that looks like shit. It's kind of like watching old CGI movies, because once Jurassic Park came out, everybody used CG. And some of it was like so rushed and so quick to cash in, it didn't do the movies justice. Some of them are bad, like Spawn. Spawn CGI is fucking dog shit. It is absolute dog shit. Absolutely terrible. It does not hold up. Again, because the CG craze was just kicking in. So there's going to be, I don't see it. I don't see it being used full time yet. Anyway, I don't think I'll ever watch that either. I've heard about that. I know it's a Miyazaki film. I don't think I could stomach that. Listen, you want the perfect version of Where the Wind Blows? Barefoot Gen. Watch Barefoot Gen. That's another fucked up one. Holy shit, Barefoot Gen is messed. That is like the best interpretation of a historical event I've ever seen. That was all done through like anime. That's insane. I have heard about Phil Tippett's Dinosaur. I will say I have a list of movies after Star Wars that I'm going to put as a tier of like what I want to review next. I have sort of a list of like other stuff. That's on the list. So I'll just say that. Favorite Robot Chicken episode of Star Wars? I kind of prefer the first one. The first one's still the best. Anyway, let's get back to it. Episode 3. We've wasted enough time here talking about the nuclear disaster. Let's not go there. We're having a fun time. There we go.
But the true fight of the film and the highlight.
All right, so this is where I'm at.
Star Wars fans is the.
By the way, spoilers for episode 3 if you don't want to see my opinion.
Final duel between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, now knighted Darth Vader.
Okay. Let's see here. I mean, yeah, it's also a very rainy afternoon today, guys, so I'm just kind of like here and there.
Vader. For many fans, this is the best.
There we go.
Vader. For many.
Let's see here.
Vader. For many fans, this is the best scene in any Star Wars movie, and to some extent, I agree. For almost 30 years, ever since Obi-Wan's words in the original film, we all wondered what this throwdown was going to look like and how it.
Oh yeah, there's several out there.
Look like and how it was going to look like.
Yeah, we still have a long way. We still have we still have after this one, we still have a few, and some of them are about 10 minutes. So we're gonna like kind of binge through it.
Gonna look like and how it.
Also, a reminder, guys, if you have me wanting to react to something on YouTube, send a super chat my way. And also, just super chats in general always do help the channel. And yeah.
Gonna look like and how it went. And Lucas delivered with flying colors in one of the most painstaking, grueling sword fights ever put to film. Painstaking, grueling sword fights ever put to film. The power, the strikes, the blocks, the moves, and most notably, the speed was all done for real by both Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen. Both brothers in arms turned enemies trained for 2 solid months to prep for this.
Damn.
The power, the strikes, the blocks, the moves, and most notably, the speed was all done for real by both Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen.
How often do you make Foley art of your reviews? Foley art, like doing Foley, like sound? Putting a little context there, Cyrus. I'm curious what you mean by that. Foley, I do try to do a little bit of more Foley now, to make it sound a little better, especially if I don't have a certain sound effect. Could a Diplodocus work in place of the Brontosaurus from King Kong? Yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be cool. That'd be interesting. That'd be new and unique. I think would be kind of cool. That's interesting. I don't know if I could pronounce that.
Brothers in arms turned to enemies trained for 2 solid months to prep for this fight, and both just flew. To prep for this fight, and both just flew through it with amazing, and both just.
Yeah, it's just about trimming the fat right now.
Flew through it with amazing grace and skill. It was all grace and skill.
Remember when you compare the Triceratops and Mastodon Zord in your Power Rangers review to Big Bad Beetleborgs? This makes me wonder what your opinion is. I used to love Big Bad Beetleborgs. I used to watch that show like crazy. Just the first season, not the metallic shit. That was kind of a weird thing. Called with metallic stuff, and that and Beast Wars did that too. But I used to love Beetleborgs. I love the theme song, Big Bad Beetleborgs. That shit slapped. I knew they crossed paths with the Power Rangers in the comics, and I know they reused the costumes in Forever Red. I wish they did a full-on crossover. Like, I don't know what the kids from Beetleborgs are doing today, but if you found a way to bring them back, that'd be awesome. Foley art is in creating sound effects. Yeah, I do it a lot. You'll see a bit of it in episode 2, actually. I did a bit of Foley.
It was all everyone involved wanted to put the most effort into to please the fans. It was all everyone involved wanted to put the most effort into.
There we go. VR Troopers I missed out on. I never caught that on TV, although I did see JonTron's video, and I love that. My favorite joke, on my way to this real structure, and he like hits the green screen. That shit's funny. You notice that as later on as an adult, you're like, wow, that looks really bad.
To please the fans and audiences, making it the most visually impressive spectacle in the entire trilogy.
Actually, that would be cool, actually, Martin. Lorenzo, make note. Make note, like maybe Spinosaurus would be kind of cool.
As the two duke it out in Lucas's adaptation of Hell.
Yeah, like it literally is. It's literally fucking hell.
As the two duke it out in Lucas's adaptation of Hell.
Keep pressing the delete button.
As the two duke it.
Oh, I did an alternate take. Let's see here.
As the two.
There we go.
As the two duke it out in Lucas's adaptation of Hell. Not to mention the special effect.
Yeah, this is where I have to go in and like I have a 60 Minutes interview with George Lucas that kind of describes what I'm talking about. So let me just rewind here, because I was doing a little bit of clip editing while I was here, which is kind of cool. I was able to get some of it done. Let's go back here a little bit. There was a whole interview with Lucas that I had. There we go. Can we just agree the Dinozord Carnotaurus would be awesome? That'd be amazing. All right, so right here. So I gotta go back.
Not to mention.
And it's somewhere here, I think.
Down in the biblical.
Is it possible to learn
Here we go.
power? Not from a Jedi.
The climactic battle takes place on a sea of fire, lava actually, on a planet filled with nothing but volcanoes. Do you actually... down in the biblical.
There we go. Yeah, here we go.
Nothing but volcanoes.
And just see here. There we go.
Do you actually take us down in the biblical sense into hell?
Yes.
The lava
The lava at the end.
is hell.
Yes, it ends in hell.
There we go. That pretty much is. There's a lot of that biblical stuff that I like in Revenge of the Sith. There's a lot of that. I'm just going to bring it up so you guys can see any images that may come up here.
Do you actually take us down in the biblical sense into hell?
Yes.
The lava
The lava at the end.
is hell.
Yes, it ends in hell.
Not to mention the special effects on Mustafar.
Metal Hero series would become Beat Bat, Beetleborgs, Bee Fighter. Okay. Oh, yeah, I know about that. I watched Movie Bob's video on that. Sith Lord Darth Derek Savage and Jedi Tommy Wiseau. That'd be funny. Can somebody do artwork of that? That'd be awesome.
Are also spectacular, using not just high-end digital quality, high quality, using not use.
There we go. Go.
Using not just high-quality digital effects, but also impressive.
Go.
But also impressive miniatures and real volcanoes.
Yeah, Mary and Max. That is such a great film. I know people who are on the spectrum that I have a lot of empathy towards. They consider them really good friends and everything. And I have noticed Hollywood's really poor quality distinctions of how they handle autism in the spectrum, because it's either, you know, the Frankenstein monster or it's X-Men. And I'm so tired of that trope in all these movies. The Predator was the last one to say, oh, X-Men. I'm not a fan of that personally. I think that's very offensive to them because you either go too high or too low, and I think there's no middle ground. Mary and Max really did put into a perspective that I saw in a lot of people I know on the spectrum, where this is what it is. And I was like, oh my God, they get it. They get it. They totally get it. And I've actually been advocating for organizations here to showcase it, to present it as a form of education for people to understand what it is. The only other thing I can think of is The Accountant. Now, I have not seen the sequel, but I did want to see it. I just saw Revenge of the Sith instead for research purposes. But I do need to watch the second one. I don't know if it's been good or not. I'll have to take a look. But yeah, with Mary and Max, that is one of my favorite films for that reason. It got it right, and it got it right hard. Really good movie. I'm glad you saw it. Anyway.
I'm not kidding. Unfortunately,
There we go.
but also impressive miniatures and real volcanoes. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, so apparently what's interesting, if you guys have never seen the behind the scenes on Revenge of the Sith, believe it or not, so technically the ending of Revenge of the Sith, which is the sunset, the Barony sunset, with Owen and Beru holding Luke, was technically the first thing shot. The first thing shot was technically the last shot. But in between that, there was another thing shot even before George Lucas had a script, right? Way before he had a screenplay for Revenge of the Sith. I'm going to pull that up right now. You guys are going to be shocked by this. That the first thing shot was a mountain called Mount Etna in, I think, Italy. And it was erupting as they were getting ready to write the script. And George Lucas saw the footage of Mount Etna, called up Rick McCallum and said, you got to send a crew out there to get these shots. The volcano's incredible. And that's what they did. They actually went and filmed B-roll of Mount Etna erupting. and slap those into the film. Now, I'm going to quickly try to find, there's a documentary here that really showcases that whole story. And I'll play it for you guys because it's really cool. Again, it shows that it's not all CG. There is real elements involved. So let me just kind of skim through here because let me just go through like the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, here. I think it was somewhere here. Somewhere around here. I can find the footage of Mount Etna. This is insane. Yeah, here. Somewhere here. Okay, let me just play this part. Okay, this is really cool. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
We had a very lucky break early on when we were conceiving of the whole Mustafar sequence. Mount Etna exploded. And I got a call from George over the weekend. He said, listen, this footage is extraordinary. You've got to get on the plane. So I grabbed Ron Fricke, wonderful cameraman.
So all those elements right there were used in Mustafar.
And we rushed off to Italy. And within 24 hours, we actually got there. And we started filming for a week the total extraordinary footage that we have on Mustafar of the volcano planet literally exploding in front of our eyes. Here,
so they got like different elements, some at night with like where they could use luma key, some on blue where it was like blue screen. So they were able to use like different elements to kind of really make it work. So I love this. Like, look at that. The fact they used this.
But then you turn it sideways.
Yeah, and they flip. You see how clever that is?
What this does is it allows for
like, I love that. I love that they use real volcanic stuff. I'm gonna have to watch that History Buffs then. That's cool. I did not see the whale. Let's see here. Hey, Shark King, good to see you. But yeah, isn't that cool that they actually used real volcanic footage?
Unfortunately, much like Plinkett stated, where they did not use real locations of volcanoes for the actors to fight on, unlike Lord of the Rings.
So here's an argument I have about the Mustafar fight. Could have benefited from using some real locations. And that it's doable. That it is doable, you could have done it. Because in Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, when they were filming Mount Doom, namely, let me just go to that sequence actually. When they were filming Mount Doom, they actually had Sean Astin and Elijah Wood on a real volcano in New Zealand. And they went ahead and they actually like filmed this shit. But Lucas was like, well, no, digital technology, let's just like go completely digital. And I'm like, some realism, some sense of realism would have benefited. Like, if you had, like, Anakin doing the crawling part and you filmed that on a real volcano, that would have been cool. And I remember there was speculation that they were going to do that. They were going to actually film it that way. And I thought that would have been cool. But they really didn't do that. And if I go to, like, Return of the King here, right? The part I know was filmed on a real volcano was all here. When Frodo, right here, when Frodo and Sam are climbing up the Crack of Doom. And they're going up this, right? This was a real volcano in New Zealand. How cool would it have been to see Anakin and Obi-Wan right here where Frodo and Sam are fighting up this volcano, like on Mustafar, while all this shit's happening in the background? That would have been cool. That would have been awesome. And we didn't really get that. And I know Mr. Plinkett, again, he brought this up with episode 3. If I can find Mr. Plinkett's video on this, I think I have it saved here. Here. If I go to the Mr. Plinkett video. And he talks about it somewhere in here. Let me just try to dig it out. There was one part that was like really, really funny. And it really brought up how like this could have been cool if they did that. Just trying to figure out where it is, because he like brings up how like, you know, you could have easily made this scene like really good. But I'm just trying to find it. Give me a second here. There should be something here. Somewhere here. Yeah, somewhere here. Just trying to find it. One moment. Yeah, somewhere here, I think.
Important because the fucking fight goes on for too long. They explain in excruciating detail just how much work went into shooting a sequence like this. And it's quite amazing the level of difficulty. And
somewhere here, yeah.
All to make a sequence that the audience will ultimately find boring because there's nothing else going on other than that they're fighting. While the blue screen restricts in some cases when you don't want to spend too much time on those boring talking parts, here it can cause creativity overload.
Safety reasons, but hey, again,
is a horrible pain.
That didn't stop them doing that with Lord of the Rings. And Lucas did say with Revenge of the Sith he wanted this to be Return of the King. So why not copy the formula? Here.
And can get expensive. And I got respect for Lucas for the shit he went through making the original Star Wars film.
Here we go.
Really. The notion that bigger and more epic equals more emotion for some reason is just a fallacy. When I watch footage of George making these movies,
here we go.
I see a few things. I see a man that likes to keep pushing the envelope of visual effects.
That's fine.
A man that likes to film scenes in the comfort of a controlled environment while drinking his coffee.
That's kind of funny and also mean.
And watching monitors.
Yeah, here, like I like this argument that, you know, you could have still told this fight without, like, yeah, here, right here is what I'm talking about. Right here.
It took 58,000 people to make, 917,000 man hours, and 204.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for Rebirth. I've seen the trailer. It looks great.
53 million hours of computer animation. They weren't working on
here.
some complicated construction project. It was just a scene in a movie where two guys fight. They could have gone out to the side of some volcano somewhere and filmed them fighting there. There's a guy there with a smoke machine, and a wide shot edit, a map painting background or a computer background. Have a guy pouring fake lava down the rocks when they're fighting. And have the scene be 5 minutes.
And that's they could have done that, and that would have been interesting. That would have been really cool. And, I mean, I understand maybe because, like, all right, well, we wanted the environment to look really, like, authentic, a lot of lava and stuff. Yeah, I get that. And that's why you had to go fully digital. But again, you could have, some practical elements to match this would have been interesting. In fact, just to prove a point, I did the same. I actually took Plinkett's advice here. And when I shot my fight with Vader for episode 3, minor spoilers, we did that exact thing. We went to a location that was very volcanic in terrain, filmed it on a blue screen, which I call God's blue screen, and we added digital volcanoes. And if I could find this, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So, like, let me just try to find a good shot I can show you guys that doesn't give away too much. Fight 2. I think it was this one. Just make sure. Okay, yeah, okay. So, like, prime example, and this is just a minor behind-the-scenes detail when we make our videos, okay? Just for later, right? Let's go in the behind-the-scenes documentary. So this is the original shot we did. We shot on this really cool location, God's blue screen right here, and we just had me and the actors. We were just fighting over this area, this really cool area, right? Just simple fight, simple fighting. Not too serious, not too crazy, a little improv. It was also made it because, like, of course it's not going to be too choreographed because also the plates is shaking up, so it's a little hard to keep our balance. But you get the idea. Then, through the magic of digital technology, then you composite it and it looks like something like this. Very simple, very simple. I mean, like, you have to add the lightsabers and everything, but it's just very simple how that could, like, it shows it can be done. Like, I did it cheap, but it shows that it could be done. And that would have been interesting if George Lucas did that. So, there you go. There's sort of my rambling about how some effects could have been done like that. I don't like the real Plinkett. I like the bootleg. Everybody likes bootleg Plinkett. That's only because Thomas did such a good job at it. Do you think you'll shout out more charities? Probably someday when I get some time. I have not had time to really look into any research. There was a moment in the Lost World novel where a group of Myosaurus violently broke apart a Jeep. That'd be cool if they did that in the movie. I am aware of the Mutodon. That was a surprise to me. I'm curious how that's going to come out. We need more aggressive herbivores. I'm curious how Titanosaurus is going to do. Do you have any honorable mentions of your thoughts adding to your top 30 favorite movies list? I might do like an additional top 40, meaning 40 to 41 or 40 to 31 down the line, but that won't be for a while. But anyway, yeah, there's a little behind the scenes on episode 3, but let's get to it here.
To fight on, unlike Lord of the Rings, where Peter Jackson took Sean Astin and Elijah Wood up the steps of a real.
How's it pronounce that?
And Elijah Wood up the steps of a real. Up the steps of.
Yeah, so there you go. That just shows. I should just do a behind-the-scenes live stream edit after Star Wars is done to give you guys an idea of the complications of making special effects.
Of a real volcano to shoot.
Even should do some like Patreon live streams. That'd be cool.
Wood up the steps of a real volcano to shoot Mount Doom.
Does Jedi Kermit and Mickey appear? No. They do not appear in this episode.
Luck came to the production.
Here we go.
Shoot Mount Doom. Luck came to the production in late 2002 as Mount Etna erupted violently in Italy. Lucas contacted his second unit team to get the first shots of the film out. To get the first unit team to get unit team.
Oh.
To get the first shots of the film out. To get the first shots of the film outside of the ending. To get the first shots of the film outside of the ending.
He'll be back. I don't know when, but he will be back.
Outside of the ending that was shot in Tunisia. Outside of the ending that was shot in Tunisia during episode 2.
We're getting there, guys.
Where the crew went to the heart of the mountain to film hours of Etna's eruption to be used for volcanic elements on Mustafar,
Yeah, I'm so nervous for tomorrow too with Anime North. It's gonna be crazy. I never watched Weird Al. I don't remember that one.
Elements on Mustafar, making the scenes and fight to some degree more practical than some give the film credit for. To some degree, more practical than some give the film credit for. More practical than in the
behind-the-scenes documentary for Congo, you can see a clip of the film's editing with the hot air balloon and the erupting volcano in the background, but the film itself, the volcano is not present. Yeah, it probably was added either digitally or through miniatures. What movie with John Candy have you seen? Spaceballs, Home Alone. I really like Uncle Buck. And The Rescuers Down Under. Uncle Buck, though. Love Uncle Buck. Actually, what's funny is, fun fact, where I used to live, where the original BigJackFilms HQ was for the last, 20 years before I moved, is actually in the same neighborhood John Candy used to live in. So check. That's pretty cool. I think that's cool that we used to live right near around where John Candy used to live.
Than some give the film credit for. I highly recommend the incredibly detailed documentary Within a Minute, which showcases every aspect and department in the production.
Yeah, that documentary I just showed with that footage, that was Within a Minute. I would recommend that. You can find it on YouTube. It's a really good documentary. One of the best filmmaking documentaries. Filmmaking 101. If you want Filmmaking 101, basically, here are all the departments you need to make a movie. Go watch that. That's incredible.
That took credits not just in the film, but the fight itself. But the fight itself. Namely only 1 minute of it, but the fight itself. namely only 1 minute of it, and all the pieces that had to be put in place for all involved. It shows such a level of care and detail everyone had to make this final fight spectacular, and it really is a visual
Please make a joke, Art of Jedi Thomas. You might actually get something there down the line. Now, you'll see, man. You will see.
Spectacular, and it really is overall a visual marvel, especially in the music.
Once again, we get to the music. All right, we're doing pretty good. What got you onto Monstrosity's live stream, and will you do it again? I just commented on their stream, and they saw I was on there. They said they were fans, and they invited me, and that's how it happened. I don't collect vinyl CDs unless it's like Kong soundtracks. That's really about it. I'm not really into buying those. We almost had a John Hughes film where John Candy was to star in a film about feuding neighbors, and his co-star was to be Sylvester Stallone. Oh, that would have been cool, actually. I would have liked to have seen that. That would have been a fun movie. It would have been like rival twins. That would have been cool. All right, guys, we're doing pretty good right now. What's the next step here? We talk about the what is it? The only recommendation for the episode summon Cthulhu. That'd be funny. Cthulhu shows up in Star Wars. Gorgosaurus I don't know much about, but Triceratops, man. Constantly getting shafted lately. I don't like that. That makes me upset.
John.
Okay, now we got another 2 minutes. Okay, guys, let's breeze through this.
John Williams delivers his final bow with the prequel trilogy and goes all out with a bang with tense action cues and a tragic yet haunting score.
Really? That's cool.
Yet haunting score.
That's awesome.
Score that adds so much to the final film. So many themes add so much weight to the movie. Namely, so many themes add so much weight to the movie. Namely, the sequel. Namely, the sequel track much weight to the movie. Namely, the sequel track to Duel of the Fates with Battle of the Heroes.
Yep.
Making music of the awe-enduring fight between the two.
Any consoles people have been recommending you get or collect? Super Nintendo. I've always been a Super Nintendo guy. I've always been that. That's always going to be my favorite console. That and the PS1. And Game Boy Advance. I like buying the Game Boy Advance games because those are cheap. I actually just bought Lego Star Wars, the first one, on Game Boy Advance just to try it out. It's not that bad. I paid like $6 for it. That and Revenge of the Sith.
Making music of the awe-enduring fight between the two fallen friends. If Duel of the Fates is epic, Battle of the Heroes is a tragedy. Well, enhancing that epic choir in Duel, it's a more fun in Duel.
Let's see here.
It's a more fallen vocal here. It's a more fallen vocal here. Something Lucas always plans. Or it's a
Let's see here.
It's a more fallen vocal here. Something Lucas always planned since Duel of the Fates was made on episode 1.
Yes, so here's the thing. We have to get an interview with George Lucas on episode 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Phantom Menace review. We're going to go back to the archives. And we're going to go ahead and grab that. Also, guys, bear in mind I'm feeling a little bit tired because I think it's just the energy and the rain today is making me feel a little bit like, ooh. But I'm going to keep pushing through. I'm probably going to go till about 6 o'clock. Maybe 637. Let's see what happens. Let's go to the archives. Let's save this. Only recommendation is the PS3 OG model. Yeah, that would work. Yeah, I need that. I agree 100%. What includes music from Battle of Big Al? Which one? Oh, okay, that's cool. There's going to be a vinyl soundtrack. That's awesome. Let's fucking go. Okay, hang on. Let me just, let's see. Share screen. Share. There we go. Should get a bit more. There we go. Okay. I think I need to find the behind. There's a behind the scenes thing of Phantom Menace. I want to just try to grab that. Hey, here we go. I think it's somewhere here. Somewhere around here. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so tired. My God. Anybody else is feeling like really, really tired lately? There you go. I just want to make sure it's the right one. It might be actually the latter one. Let's just see here. Gotta make sure I have the right clip. Call it at 6? Okay. It's comfort weather, but it's also like tired. Like it's more like sleep weather. Just my perspective. Let's see here.
Yeah, here's the big.
So I'm just trying to remember where he said that they were going to put it in the third one. It might have been the other documentary, but let me check here.
The inevitable fate of
It might have been here.
we're going between takes is just we didn't think it well. Yeah, because there's a lot of clashing and banging. Ben Bird in there. Yeah. I think it's going to work. I mean, you didn't realize this, but it really goes into the third film.
There you go.
Well, and it's. I think it'll be an important thing to reprise. I mean, it definitely has the quality of.
There we go. That's what we need right there. But let me also just quickly check one other piece of documentary. But I think that's the one. Let's go back to Revenge of the Sith. Let's stick that in there. We'll do that. Hi, Star Master. Good to see you. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Here we go.
1.
I think it's going to work. I mean, you didn't realize this, but it really goes into the third film very well, and it's. I think it'll be an important thing to reprise. I mean, it definitely has the.
There we go. That's what we need. There we go.
Quality of the inevitable fate of.
There we go. That's what we need. But I think there was like one other clip of him talking about this coming back for episode 3. So let me just do a quick little check here. It should be somewhere here. I'm gonna go back to episode 1, and then we'll check that. Let's see here. I'm gonna go back to episode 1 quickly. God, guys, I don't know why I'm so tired. What's your favorite video? I love the one he did on Carnosaur. That is his magnum opus. I love that one. All right, posture check. Whew. Let me go back here because I remember I talked about. Oh, here we go. I think it was here. Check that quickly. Favorite meme from Star Wars Episode 3 behind the scenes when Lucas spoke about, I think it's too much. That's funny. I like that one. Yeah, I agree with that. Doug definitely does need to review more of those. Glad you guys are having a nice discussion in the chat. That's cool. Okay, yeah. So it was somewhere here. Let me just check here.
They're a spaceship mechanic that just goes along to fix.
It was somewhere here. Oh, here. That's hilarious. That is so funny. Like, can we play that again? Let's go. That's funny. R2 just getting completely shut down. R2's me right now, crashing out. Just that's me. That is me right now. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that, Martin. I thought that was, they really messed him up there. Also, I wanted to point out here, this whole deleted scene in Revenge of the Sith, can we put this back in? Like, that's cool. Like, why was that cut? Why was this all cut?
Then it goes from that into...
Yeah, here we go, here we go.
And talk about where the music is going to go and what it should do, etc.
Religioso Force.
Here we go, here we go.
Then it goes from that into...
Here we go.
Religioso Force. It has to be something that kind of says, we're fighting back now. But I think we need to keep that kind of fighting back theme going to keep the energy up.
Okay, I'm just checking here. I swear there was a clip here where he says this goes back into the third one.
Yeah, it's a wonderful piece of music with the choir and the whole. It's very operatic and very much like Star Wars.
Oh my goodness! Let's see here.
Music laid in there, it actually tells the story.
Nope. Okay, so it wasn't in this documentary. Okay, I was wrong. That's interesting. I swear it was. That's hilarious.
Once I worked with him on Star Wars,
Fortunate to which seems now to be a...
Okay, so we're gonna still take this part and put it in just in case I need those clips. Live chat, what's an edited compilation of Jack you'd like to see me make about? I mean, even I'm thinking of ones you could probably do. Just like, honestly, like, man, I might have to contact you about helping me out with the behind-the-scenes stuff because I, energy-wise, do not have time. Like, blooper reels and stuff. Like, editing that, I might need your help on that, actually, to help me, like, get through it. That'd be fun. That would actually help a lot. I'll reach out to you. That might be actually kind of cool. All right, let me just see here. Let me go to the Sith. Yeah, so it was really in that part he brought up that it was going to be planned out.
It's a more fallen vocal here. Something...
There we go.
Something Lucas always planned since Duel of the Fates was made on episode 1.
Why not just use the lead scenes, because I think that's kind of cool. There we go.
Made on episode 1.
I think it's gonna work.
There we go.
Since Duel of the Fates was made on episode 1.
I think it's gonna work. I mean, you didn't realize this, but it really goes into the third film very well, and it's. I think it'll be an important thing to reprise. I mean, it has.
Agreed, Starmaster.
It definitely has the quality of the inevitable fate of.
Okay.
And while I love this track with a...
There we go. We're doing good, guys.
And while I love this track with a fiery passion, I do prefer Duel of the Fates more, and John Williams didn't shy away from including... And while I love this track with a fiery passion, I do
There we go.
prefer Duel of the Fates more, and John Williams didn't shy away from including it here as a reprise for the trilogy. For the fight with Yoda. Didn't shy away from including it here as a reprise for the trilogy. As a reprise for the trilogy for the reprise. For the trilogy for the fight with Yoda and for the fight for the trilogy.
We're getting there.
For the fight with Yoda and Sidious. He also included the fight for the fight with Yoda and Sidious.
Starmaster. Yeah, I don't know how this He-Man movie's gonna do, guys. They're probably just gonna say, let's just do the original movie again. I don't think so. I actually almost met him once, and I didn't know who he was at the time.
He also included the fight. He also included the track "Clash of the Lightsabers" from the Duel. Yes. He also included the track "Clash of the Lightsabers" from the duel on Bespin between Luke. From the duel on Bespin between Luke and Vader in The Empire Strikes Back, and it really works here to tie everything together. Especially given it was one of the main tracks. Especially given it was one of the main tracks of all 3 prequel trailers. Many themes from all 6. Many themes from all 6 films are showcased here, and are showcased here. Are showcased here, and are showcased here in.
Let's see here.
Films are showcased.
That would be cool if he did.
Themes from all 6 films are showcased here and there in the movie. The ending mostly taking a lot from the original film to tie it all together. But with new themes, the two that stick out the most for me.
I did that take a few times, didn't I?
The most for me is, of course, it's first off General. It's first off General Grievous's theme, which gives a lot of power.
Thought he was cool. I think he's okay. I'm doing okay. I'm a little bit tired.
A lot of power to the character. And the saddest of the film is Anakin's betrayal / dark deeds, used during Order 66 and Anakin's path to the dark side.
Okay, I'm gonna go for another 2 minutes, and I'm just gonna take a quick little break.
Seriously, this thing's a tearjerker. But I'll also give credit to one track that a lot of fans really like, and that's in the scene where Padme and Anakin have a psychic link between where they're staying on Coruscant as the sun sets in the song. As the sun sets in the as a metaphoric reminder that this is the last.
That's something actually people don't realize with Revenge of the Sith. I don't know if anybody's ever picked this up, but in the movie, I'm gonna bring this up quickly before I go take a little break, little posture check. This scene coming out. Let me go to my library. Let me go show you guys what I'm talking about. But the scene where Padme and Anakin can psychically kind of see each other, right? Something to make a note of with this sequence, right? If I go to it, where is it? Here. This whole sequence. Like, you guys know this one. This one right here. Right? This scene right here. Like, this scene is, like, beautifully haunting, right? Something to make a note of. It's sunset, right? This is technically the last time the Old Republic ever saw daylight. This was the Republic's final dawn. And people forget that. This was the last day of the Republic. And it's a very metaphorical thing. Like, you seeing the red sun, it's like the blood is being spilt on the Republic. This is its last hour. And that's kind of haunting. At first I didn't know about this scene. Apparently this was a reshoot or like something that Lucas added. I think this was probably like, I'm gonna say this. I like this scene more than the Opera House scene in terms of just visual operatic aesthetic, because it tells a very impending doom of this era. Like, this is the last. Like Rose said it best in Titanic. Remember in Titanic, this is the equivalent of the flying scene from Titanic when, you know, Jack is holding Rose at the edge. Because what does Rose say? Old Rose say as it transitions. She turns and she says, "That was the last time Titanic ever saw daylight. This was the last time the Old Republic ever saw daylight, because the next day it would be converted to the Empire." How freaky is that? How scary is that? Like, imagine realizing the sunset you see is the last time that time of your life ever sees. That is hard. Nobody ever brings this up. Kind of. Maybe in video essays. But no one brings up that this was the last sunset of the Republic. That is chilling. I find this more chilling than the Opera House scene. It's like perfect. And actually, I swear, did he actually have the sun go down at that moment? Let me just check the shot. Did he have the insight to do that? Not really. But you know what would have made this shot so much stronger is if on that moment, when you see it as, how cool would it have been sync this up? Anakin's tear going down his face, it's synced up with the sun's last light. Imagine as soon as he leaves, you see the sun go out. That would have been like right on the nose and like perfect. They didn't really do that, but I think that would have been fucking cool. If you synced it up with his tears represent the Republic's cry. It's cry for loss. Like if you synced it up with the sunset, but it doesn't matter. The scene is perfect because that is my only gripe. If you synced it up with that, that would have been amazing. Oh my god, the poeticness there would have rhymed spectacularly. But I'm sort of realizing this more. I know it's the last time the Republic ever sees daylight, but like, that's fucking deep, bro. Like, that's fucking deep. When you think about it that way. That is poetic.
And the saddest of the film is Anakin's betrayal / dark deeds, used during Order 66 and Anakin's path to the dark side. Seriously, this thing's a tearjerker. But I'll also give credit to one track that a lot of fans really like, and that's in the scene where Padme and Anakin have a psychic link between where they're staying on Coruscant, as a metaphoric reminder that this is the last night the Republic ever saw daylight.
Yeah, like literally. Nobody ever catches on to that.
It's visually impressive.
Like, nobody ever catches on about that. Let's see. Yeah, I want to just find that a little bit. Like, here, let me just go find a shot of that.
Public. Last night the Republic ever saw daylight.
Yeah, nobody catches on with that shit. It kind of shocks me that nobody ever picks that up.
Coruscant, as a metaphoric reminder that this is the last night the Republic ever saw daylight. It's visually impressive. It's acted silently through these two. Silently.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna finish this part up and then I'm gonna take a break.
Through these two acted silently.
Yeah, but now you go watch it again, Star Master, and look at it at like another level, another layer to the sandwich. It's the last time the Republic ever sees daylight. It's the last time we actually, on a technical level, it's also the last day we see Anakin Skywalker alive. That is also really haunting. It's the last time we see Anakin alive. That one shot right there, that is Anakin accepting death. His death, right? Like, he's already made the choice. And he goes to hell. He goes to hell, and then, because literally this next shot with him going in, at this point he's Darth Vader. I would say at this point he's Darth Vader. Darth Vader has taken hold of him. That, like, and actually again a metaphor. The sunset. The last day he's dead. He's dead right there. Dead. Death. Done. The next day, you open up. I know this is kind of like phallic, but it opens up. The birth of Vader opens up. He is born. He comes out. He's born. Like, you think of it that way, it's like, damn, George, you ingenious bastard. Think of it that way. At that point, he is, and also to make it more aesthetic, because remember how Anakin is born from the Force. He was born a virgin birth of the Force. And what do they do when he comes out reborn as Darth Vader right here? What happens? They play the Force theme. As if to say the Force has now birthed Vader. There is some deep symbolisms in here that nobody picks up. I think that's crazy. That's crazy. I just realized that myself. Leia's Shrek. Revenge of the Sith. It has Leia's. Onions. Revenge of the Sith has Leia's, donkey. I think that's amazing. Yeah, I didn't miss much, man. We're just talking about how, like, the layers.
Impressive. It's acted silently through these two. Silently through these.
When you think of it that way, it's like there's a deep meaning. That's kind of crazy. I didn't realize that too.
Silently through these two amazing talents. Silently through these two amazing.
Also, what's funny is it's sort of like seeing a birth. You know, there's Darth Vader, this new form coming out of the vertical phallic hole, I guess, in a way. And then through all these experiences, he is born as Vader. We see him, he's like a little baby walking around. And then when he's knighted Vader, when he's given the name Darth Vader, like, where's that scene? Right here, right? Like this whole scene where he's named Darth Vader. That's the equivalent of the nurse giving you your name after you're born. There is a huge symbolic symbol here. You could say the lightsaber, maybe I'm stretching this. You could say this lightsaber duel is, okay, except for the funny faces that Palpatine pulls, this lightsaber duel is a metaphor of the labor, the hours of labor it takes to birth Vader. Maybe I'm thinking too deep into this shit, but there you go. Like, there is a huge contrast of theme here. With this whole section, that whole fight is almost a symbolic labor and birthing of the life form creation of Darth Vader. When you think of it like that, it's like, damn, that's deep shit. There you go. And in a way, because they're using the Force, what does Palpatine say? Use the Force to influence the midichlorians to create life. Who's to say he's not, like, there's a metaphor here. There's a total metaphor here. And actually, okay, I'm getting phallic now. You see, when a Palpatine and a Sensu Tin love each other very much, Palpatine puts his lightsaber in Sensu Tin's hole. It's called force making, and it's part of being in the Force. I'm sorry, I'm done. I'm going too far with this shit. When a Sith and a Jedi love each other very much, the Sith puts his lightsaber in the Jedi's pelvis. And then they give birth to Darth Vader. That's how Darth Vader's, Mommy, where did Darth Vader's come from? It comes on a flying like the Falcon, and that's the equivalent of the Stork. Oh Lord, I'm dying. I'm dying, y'all. This shit funny. That's my problem. I dig too deep in the rabbit hole. Or in this case, the hole that births Darth Vader. The hole that births Vader. I've ruined the true person who has ruined Star Wars. Me! Oh, Lord. Oh, now this thing went from I'm tired to I'm laughing my ass off. Yes, that's everybody realizing the theming. He's too dangerous to be kept alive. He's diving too deep into it more than the religious cultists who say Keanu Mooney doesn't belong to the Acolyte. Yeah, penis head doesn't belong in your... I can't! In case anyone was thinking the Jedi were too slow, usual suspect, right? Palpatine's used Force Scream to stun. Yeah, or it's like that is the equivalent of the solar flare. Oh my God, Palpatine flashed them! He flashed them before he stuck his lightsaber in Sentutine's horn, because he's horny. I need to stop! I'm not a monster here, you are! You, the rest of that fanboy trash poisoning my perfect world! I can't. Oh, Lord! I need therapy. In the 2020s, my boy, there is no therapy. We're all on our own. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. How do we dig this deep? What's that song from Phil Collins? You know I love you, but I'm in too deep. She'd laugh. She's at work right now, but what's funny is she loves these live streams, and she listens to them to help her fall asleep like ASMR, which is adorable. But she's going to hear this and be like, what the fuck? You left me a voicemail and messenger. Oh, no. Is there a doctor in the house? Do it. Yeah, there you go. It's canon. When a Sith and a Jedi love each other very much, the Sith sticks his lightsaber in the Jedi's force hole. And that births Darth Vader. They fertilize into the dark side with helmet and voice apparatus and all. And Darth Vaders are born. And then they end up on Fortnite, which, oh my God, is hilarious. We've come full circle this week, folks. I've lost it. Yeah. All right, no, it's Star Master. I'm going to listen to your voice message right now. Hang on a sec. Oh, Lord. Ooh, that's funny. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, no. Oh, no. Fuck. Oh, Star Master, no. Wait, who sent the voice message?
Hello, this is a message to Star Master 996. I'd like to call in favor about a message that I would say on voicemail of saying, you just tried me so bad, I can't even think now.
But you're...
Anyways, thank you for the message, and I'll call you later. Anyways, if you'd like to report back to my messages, please dial the number and press 1. Now you made me go to therapy.
If you like the fax me, press the star key. Oh, God. I'm done. I think I've lost my shit. Oh, God. No, that's Indiana Jones. We'll say that for Indiana Jones. Oh, man. Okay, Lord. Okay. Okay, guys. I think I need to take a break. This one, like, George Lucas is just like, I may have gone too far in a few places, but I'll be right back. I just got to take a quick break. God, I'm just my head's spinning. Think of the shit. But I'll be right back, and we'll continue editing Revenge of the Sith. So just hold your horses. I shall return. And we're back. Oh, there we go. We're back. So after that detour, all right, well, that was funny. I had to kind of like just be like, wow, what the hell was I talking about? But yeah, that was good. Anyway, we're gonna get back to episode 3. That's fucking funny. That is the funniest shit we've ever come up with. There's an edit for you, Osiris. Oh no, do the whole "Where did Darth Vader's come from" compilation. Make like some art, like quick photoshops of like the Falcon as the stork or something relatively funny as a visual for that. But there you go. You got some stuff to work with there. All right. Let's see here. Let's go back here. Oh God, no, Lorenzo, no, no. That was just oof. All right, let's see here. You can think of me as your father. Wait, you. Yeah, exactly. You can think of me as your father. Wait, you fucked my mom? No, I have to do it like him. Wait, you fucked my mom? No! Yeah, I don't use Photoshop either. Paint. Microsoft Paint. If the Sand Scouts were on Skull Island, how do you think they would react? You know, Dinosaur 101, there was a lost episode where they ended up on an island with dinosaurs? And it's actually in the Japanese version. No joke. Go look that up. I mean, commercials, depending on what they're catchy of. But, yeah. Depends. Alright, let's get this next one going here. Good lord, what happened here? What did we do to ourselves? That's funny. Alright.
Amazing. The soundtrack.
So let me just go and put this on the Pinnacle side. There we go. And shit. There we go. Oh wait, hang on. I think I gotta get rid of that here. Stop screen sharing. Hang on a sec, guys. Just gotta fix this. Let's go here. There we go. That'll fix it. Share screen. No wait, I can explain. It's like CIS, open up, Roger. There we go. Okay. That'd be cool. We got that in Jurassic Park.
These two amazing. The soundtrack is wildly available.
The fuck?
Through these two amazing.
Hang on, wait a minute. Oh. I'm stupid. There we go.
Amazing talents. And John Williams is just giving us that creepy, amazing.
There we go. Okay, we got it.
Amazing talents. These two amazing talents.
You brought this on yourself. You're not affiliated with me! God.
And John Williams is just giving us that creepy, haunting feeling. That's that creepy, haunting.
Yeah, I imagine they're able to hold their own and get off at some point.
That's that creepy, haunting.
Like, listen, Mercury has her thing, her little GPS thing. You'll probably get a good signal there to get them out of there.
Haunting feeling that the ball is about to drop. It's fucking chilling.
Yeah. I need to stop. The balls are about to drop to create Darth Vader. I need to stop. Midichlorians are stored in the bowls, Anakin. Yes! Do it! Okay, I need to stop now. Back to editing.
Feeling that the ball is about to drop. It's fucking chilling.
Oh, nice! You got on the Midnight Run. Lucky bastard. I watched it here on my TV.
It's absolutely.
By the way, low key, Sailor Moon TikTok is like on fire right now, and it's not like, and mainly the Deke dub. I could not be happier. I love the fact that Deke dub is getting love again. Thank you, TikTok.
It's absolutely fucking chilling, and it's strict drop. It's fucking chilling.
There we go. We're just gonna go ahead and do that, and then do that.
And extremely powerful.
Now we can go to number 21. There we go. Raspberry wants to Taco Bell. And my bum is terrorized. That's how it goes. Alejandro, that was a document that was written up by a bunch of well, it wasn't a bunch of it. It was written up by was it not grieving? There's a word for it. It was a complaint. It was a complaint about how, like, it was a big mess, basically. It was the equivalent of a band breakup for no apparent reason other than they wanted more than what the company could provide, and because the company didn't provide it, they thought, well, we gotta take y'all down to hell with us. It wasn't pretty. I am personally very A-sided on it. I like everybody on and off what happened. I don't really have any grudges. I don't have anybody that love or like to hate. I appreciate everybody that was involved during that time. But it was just a mess. If you want a good insight on what happened, watch the Amazing Loli's essay about it, and that'll give you all the details of what happened with that. Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it, Inuyasha Dinosaur 101? Yeah, it did. Yeah, for once it wasn't negative energy. Can I tell you something actually serious, Aryan? I was about ready to quit TikTok. Because after I quit Twitter, I was about ready to quit TikTok. Go sober on TikTok, because it became nothing but negative algorithms. I've actually turned around because of Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon saved TikTok for me. So there you go. Jurassic World Rebirth I'm more excited for. I want to see both. I do want to see Superman, but Jurassic comes first. Your husband are invested in Bitcoin and got broke so bad. Oh no, I'm speaking in rhymes. Let's see here. Favorite Lion King moment. I love the fight with Simba and Scar at the end of the music. I also love, like, everything about that movie. There is no answer to that.
Extremely powerful. The soundtrack is widely available, as well as the film on DVD, which I will never forget getting from my mom in November 2005. However, it wasn't released in North America on VHS, making a lot of fans upset that they could not complete their collections.
Now, here's the thing. I've been hearing mixed things about Lilo and Stitch. Personally, I don't care. I think the live-action remakes are over. I think it's a dying brand. I heard they've canceled a lot of productions. I think Moana's probably the only thing they've got left filming. But in terms of any in development, I think they've officially stopped.
Complete their collection.
Well, okay. Well, Dark Bonnie, I'm going to go back to Kong at some point. In fact, on my list that I'm looking at right now, I've got literally about 6 episodes that I want to put out at some point, but they're going to be the next on the list. I'll say this, after Star Wars, I am taking a break, but I'm going to be more focused on smaller episodes that are going to be going back to, like, less than 10 minutes. Because even I'm getting tired of these long-ass videos. These won't be for a while for the next one. So there you go.
Collections. This was at the time the death of VHS began, as DVD and Blu-ray took over the whole video market. This was also a change in...
Yeah, that was a sad time. I would say 2006, 2007. The year of the death of VHS was 2006, 2007. I don't quit TikTok. Like, I didn't delete it currently. Pretty much I just left after the app was gone because it's more just, it's just gotten so negative. It feels like, okay, because I'm just going to say it here. They've never announced it because they know if they announced it, it would be over. It would lose so much value. Meta bought TikTok. There's my assumption. Meta bought TikTok. Zuckerberg bought it. He bought it. He gave him an ultimatum, said, I will buy it. The head of TikTok said, okay, that's the highest bidder. That's the one who will pay the most. Zuckerberg bought it. Meta owns TikTok. No matter how you say it, they own TikTok. I didn't know what was happening, but it was a big cahoot. It was a big hoax. It was just a way to say, yeah, Meta owns it now. That's why the negative of it has been a little bit more added. There's been a lot more negative energy, and it's very much like Twitter. It's not even Twitter, it's X anymore. I'm done. I don't do that anymore. But with TikTok, it's basically just Meta bought it. They won't confirm that they bought it because they know that the value of that product was about to go down. Basically, that was the ultimatum. Whoever bought TikTok, the value of the app was going to go down immediately if they announced who bought it. Because no matter who bought it, it was screwed. So to just say who didn't buy it was safer because it kept the value up. But for me personally, I barely use it now. Sometimes I'll post stuff, but half the time it's just like to just get extra stuff going on. But that's really about it for me. I pretty much don't. I use YouTube Shorts more, which is a lot, which I get paid for too. So
this was also a change in food marketing as Pepsi dropped out after episode 1, and it was Burger King and Pepsi dropped out.
There we go. Technically, Pepsi did stay on, but it was pretty much phased out by that point.
He dropped out after episode 1, and it was Burger King and Coca-Cola who took over. And Coca-Cola who took over. And Coca-Cola who took over fast food. And it was Burger King and Coca-Cola King who took over fast food promotions with an awesome lot of toys.
Yeah, I'll say this. The Revenge of the Sith toy line at Burger King, that was peak Burger King. That was like peak Burger King for me. Yeah, can you message me on Instagram and I'll link you to it? I'll do that for you.
With an awesome lot of toys to promote the movie.
The storyline will continue, but in a very small dosages, small portions. Namely, to just give myself a breather because this Star Wars has been a huge undertaking. Like, just to point out, guys, this is the last of the pre-COVID projects, and it was categorized into 3. It was Batman, Ready Player One, and Star Wars, the prequels. Those were the 3 pre-COVID projects. They were in production, then COVID just completely fucked us up. And we have, instead of like quitting and pulling the plug, we decided to wait until ride the storm and then get back to work. It has taken a toll on us in here and so on, and the stress of it all, but I'm glad that this is almost done. 2 down, 1 to go. This is the last of it. This is the last of an era for me. I'm glad it's over, and I'm just going to be taking a break, and I'm going to go back to smaller videos, but and maybe even like some bonus content just to fill in the gaps, but I am going to be taking a tad bit of a break, and mainly to just refresh things in my life to like do better routines and stuff. It is also a health break for me personally. So there you go.
Not to mention a huge marketing push by M&M's Candy. Not the movie. Not to mention a huge marketing push by M&M's Candy.
There we go.
And from the traditional round of toys, Lego, and other merchandise, including an awesome video game adaptation, to the latest home, including an awesome...
Here we go.
The toys, Lego, and other merchandise, including an awesome video, and other merchandise, including an awesome video game adaptation for the latest home and handheld consoles. Supervised by Nick Gillard and even gamer Hayden.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to get it out soon, but it is the biggest video of the 3.
Latest home and handheld console, supervised by Nick Gillard, and even gamer hate supervised by Nick Gillard, and even gamer and even.
Okay, so this is actually an interesting question. I like these lore questions. Is the Nintendo Power Glove your character has Malachite Tan? No, it is not Malachite Tan. It just utilizes the Nintendo Power technology that was my Power Glove was made to be essentially a portable FDT. So it's sort of like a portal glove, where basically I can just press it and I can teleport. And it also kind of keeps my powers and everything in check. It is not Malachite's hand, although it does acquire the same technology, except it was developed by Evil Incorporated, aka Dr. Terawatt's tech, was used to make that Power Glove. Now, granted, a lot of reviewers in the Reviewverse use the Power Glove, starting with the Nerd, then the Critic. I think Linkara used it a few times, and now myself. So the Power Glove is a prominent piece in the Reviewverse that a lot of critics have to help fight bad guys and mod them the way they want to. That was something that we kind of established in the lore, but it is not Malachite's hand. However, we're thinking about doing something with the Ring of Aeon from Suburban Nights, because we don't know what happened to that. I might have some plans down the line, but we'll see. But yeah, there's just sort of an answer for your question there. Again, I really appreciate the support from everybody tonight.
Gamer hate, and even Hayden Christensen, supervised by Nick Gillard, and even Gamer hate, and even
there you go.
Hayden Christensen, and even Hayden Christensen.
I can pronounce. No, by the way, fun fact with this recording of episode 3, I recorded this when I had a really bad cold. So even when I was out of commission, I still did the work. I still got it done. So that's why it's a little bit more stuttered than before.
And even Hayden Christensen helped out. And even Hayden Christensen.
Let's see here.
Even Hayden Christensen helped out, given he's a huge gamer. Along with
Yeah, actually, that's what I like. Hayden's here's what I love about Hayden, is that first of all, he's a local. He's a Canadian. He's actually from here, Ontario, Canada. So he was born here. Was born and raised here. Did a couple of shows. He was on Goosebumps. He was also a hockey player. So picking up a lightsaber was easy for him. And listen, us Canadians love our hockey. I don't play hockey, but I picked up a hockey stick a few times. But you get the gist. Pick up a hockey stick, you're instantly going to be doing sword fighting. It's a knack for us. We like to hold our hockey sticks. And I just love the fact that Darth Vader's Canadian. When you really think about it, Darth Vader is Canadian. Fucking awesome. That is what I'm proud to be a Canadian for. Forget everything else. Forget the free healthcare. Forget this and that. We have one of the greatest characters ever created be a Canadian. And also, by the way, to all of you American fans who have the anime boom today, thank us Canadians. Why? Sailor Moon, the original dub, was done here in Ontario, Canada. It was done here by locals, friends of mine actually. Dubbed here, it was produced here. We got it aired first, then y'all distributed it on Cartoon Network and local syndication. That started the anime boom. So you know what? Y'all Americans owe us a lot. You have to thank us a lot. We gave you a lot of culture the last 30 years. You owe us Canadians, big time. There you go. So we are responsible for Darth Vader, and we're responsible for anime. I will die on that hill. Oh Lord. Let's see here. Oh, that's cool, Osiris.
Given he's a huge gamer. Along with later that.
Oh man, that's funny. I'm thinking Canada for everything because I've been hearing about it. You know what? I'm just gonna say this. For like, I know right now America's kind of in a shithole. I know you guys are going through a lot. Guys, come to Canada. Become Canadians. We got a lot to offer here. Come to Canada. We love you guys. Like, we love the ones that are good guys. Come to Canada. I've literally been saying to people, like, come to the cons in Canada. We got some good shit. There you go.
Along with later that year, it's actually a really great game and worth checking out.
All right, here we go.
He's a huge gamer. It's actually a really great.
Yeah, maple syrup. You guys. Okay. Somebody next live stream, go do some homework, kids. Go to your grocery store, check the price of maple syrup, and see if it's gone up. And then report back to me and tell me what the prices are. Because it makes me wonder if we're withholding maple syrup from you guys. And the prices of Jacks for it. I'm very curious about that. But yeah, basketball, we're okay. The Toronto, like, listen, technically we have our own NBA team because of Jurassic Park, because we have the Toronto Raptors. And we have cool dinosaurs in Alberta. That's another thing about Canadians. We also dub a lot of animes in Vancouver too. So there you go. Inuyasha, dubbed in Canada. There you go. But also, we have great bacon. We actually might be beating y'all with bacon. Also, we have the greatest food of all time. I'm surprised none of y'all Americans picked it up. It's right up your alley. Poutines. If you don't know what a poutine, you're probably thinking, what the fuck is a poutine? It's French fries with melted cheese and gravy. Now, I know you're thinking, ew, but y'all put gravy on your mashed potatoes. You put it on your baked potatoes. Fries are a potato, so it actually makes sense to put them on French fries. Surprisingly delicious. Just dunked in gravy and melted cheese. It's the fucking shit. You can't take that away from us. We out-greased y'all. We out-fatted y'all. We came up with the greatest, greasiest substance to eat, full of obesity, and we came up with it before America. There you go. So yeah, we have good shit. The Revenge of the Toys are best to come out. Burger King back to we actually got them here too in Canada, which was cool. That was awesome. I remember when Revenge of the Sith came out. I went to my local movie theater. We have a Cineplex, and they had a Burger King in the Cineplex. And before I saw the movie, I grabbed a Whopper with cheese, bacon, and shit. Fries was delicious. And then I got some of the Revenge of the Sith toys, which was awesome. Right before I went to see the movie, it was amazing.
Game and worth checking out, along with one of the best Star Wars video games of all time, and it's actually a really great game and worth checking out, along with one of the best Star Wars video games of all time, and one of my favorite games in general, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Okay, so for those who don't know, I'm going to bring this up. It's going to be a little mini review within the review. Battlefront 2 is my second favorite video game of all time. I want to give it the attention it deserves. I want to go back to doing another game review, but I want to cover Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 is the best Star Wars game ever made. Not EA Battlefront 2. I'm talking, Pandemic Battlefront 2. Rank all the Spider-Man movies. I very much prefer the first one. Second one, the main Raimi trilogy, is still hands down the best. No Way Home is number 4 for me. Maybe number 3. I'll put No Way Home at number 3. Spider-Man 3 at number 5. Amazing Spider-Man 1 at number 6. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the worst. That is still the worst one. I have yet to see Homecoming or Far From Home. Believe it or not, I have not seen those movies, so I can't really rank them. But that's where I rank the Spider-Man movies. And Spider-Verse is in there. Spider-Verse is in the top tier as well. So there you go. Actually, okay, let me reorganize it. Spider-Man 1 and 2 are still the best. No Way Home, number 3. Into the Spider-Verse, number 4. Amazing Spider-Man 1 is number 5. Those are the top 5 for me.
No, not that EA piece of shit. The original Pandemic. No, not that EA piece of shit. The original Pandemic. Not that one either. I could still, to this day, I can still get on this game 20 years later and marvel at how well it's made. Maybe someday a full-on review. Maybe someday a full-on review may come to pass. Maybe someday a full-on review may come to pass. But review may come to pass.
I thought about it too. If I ever cover anything that isn't the main trilogy of Star Wars, they might just be one-offs. I'm thinking about that.
To come to pass, say so much more. But I could say so much more on it. The detail, the character sprites, the gameplay. The excitement of it all. It really is the excitement of the excitement of it all.
There we go.
Excitement of it all. It really is it really of it all.
Let's see here. Let's try to keep going here. That's what we got. I think we still got another 15 minutes, but I'm also going to see if I'm going to try to get at least Honey Bear onto the stream at some point. She's just finishing up her shift at 6, so I'm just checking in on that. Anyway, I really want to come to Canada someday. It's on my list of top continents I really want to visit before I kick the bucket next to Japan and New Zealand. Come to Canada. That's a lot easier. Not really this time around.
It's a game that makes you feel like you've stepped in the heart. It really is a game that makes you feel like the excitement of it all. It really is a game that makes you feel like you've stepped in the heart of Star Wars. And I can't get enough of it.
All right.
Wars. And I can't get enough of it. Wars. And I can't get enough of it. But back to Revenge of the Sith. It was...
Yeah, Toronto, honestly, Toronto gets a bad rap locally. Like, we are still... Like, here's the thing. I'm just going to tell you right now, Lorenzo. Toronto is the real-life Gotham City. It is hands down Gotham City. Like, to exquisite detail. You'd be surprised how close it is to Gotham in terms of looks and shit. The fact, see, I am so happy with how my Batman projects have come out. The fact that we shoot them downtown Toronto in my childhood Gotham City, because when I was a kid growing up with Batman, every time I visited Toronto, I thought Gotham City. It looks like Gotham City. And so for me, shooting it in Toronto, shooting it in the real life Gotham, it feels just more authentic. It feels like when you film a Batman project here, it feels like you've stepped into Gotham. And it's really interesting dynamic to film it that way. I recommend anybody who does a Batman fan film or any Batman film in general, film in Toronto, because it is literally fucking Gotham.
Event. But back to Revenge of the Sith. It was the last of an era for fans to collect high-quality products, and personally, the there was something.
She has cosplayed Kagome, actually, Inuyasha Dinosaur 101. We have done that. Inuyasha Kagome at Anime North last year. We actually, you know what? I'm going to pull up the meme. You guys know the new girlfriend meme? That's like the guy looks back and the previous girlfriend's like, what the fuck? We did that as a meme. We did the meme. So let me see if I can find that. Hang on. Because I think we took a photo of that. It was fucking hilarious. It was brilliant. Alana actually helped photograph this shot. It was so funny. Let me just see if I can find this video, this picture, because it's the funniest thing I've ever made. Okay, not there. Where is this? It's so funny. It's so funny. All right, let me go to my Facebook. Hang on a sec. I think it's there. One moment, guys. Let's see here. Let me go to my Facebook quickly. Let me go grab that. Pretty sure I have it. I want to show you guys this photo. It's so funny. Photos. Just gotta go. I gotta scroll down because yeah, it's like, God, I took so many shots at Comic-Con. I gotta find a way to connect my Facebook page to my Facebook on Instagram, or like my Instagram page. Here we go. Let me just download that. It's so funny. Give me one moment. I'll show you guys this photo. It's the funniest thing you're ever gonna see. Let me just go to it. Yeah, we did the meme, but we did the meme last year. So this is the meme. You guys know the new girlfriend meme. We did that. So so that's Honey Bear's Kagome. That's me as Inuyasha, and then there's Koga. That is the funniest shit we've ever done. Like that's hilarious. Like there, we did the meme. And that was, and like I love the way it's photographed. Like Alana actually took this on my phone and like made it look really good. Like in terms of composition and photography. But there you go. That's hilarious. Let's see here. Come on. Thoughts on Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. Again, yeah, I really appreciate that. Yeah, I only do the Patreon request is the best way to go there. But yeah, we did the meme. We did the meme, and it was hilarious. I loved making that meme. That's hilarious. That's me just literally like me going, what the hell? But there you go. I might put that in when I review the fourth movie at some point. Favorite toy line? Lion King. The Lion King toy line was pretty cool. Okay, let me just go back here. Let me just do... Nope, that's not what I want. What the fuck? There we go. We're gonna go here. Wow, we're 2 hours in. Okay. So let's share screen. Let me go back to Pinnacle. I think we're gonna keep going for a little bit more. I've got my energy back up, which is good. So I really want to showcase more of what we're doing with Revenge of the Sith here. So give me a second. Why the fuck is it not letting me... Okay, do I have to like get rid of this? There we go. Okay, let me try this. Okay. Image remove, undo. Okay, for some reason, they're not letting me show Pinnacle, which is strange. Alright, we're back. Alright, let me just try this again. Share screen. I think I just have to refresh the page. There we go. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, so let's keep going. We're doing pretty good, guys.
But back to Revenge of the Sith. It was the last of an era for fans to collect high-quality products, and personally, there was something about this era of the franchise marketing that I will always be fond of. And remember with so much joy and anticipation. I will always be fond of. And remember.
I thought Chicago was the city must resume Gotham. Well, that's only because of The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight trilogy was all shot in Chicago. I actually find it funny how it took almost 30 years for them to say, let's make Toronto Gotham in the Snyderverse. That's one thing I'm going to miss about the Snyderverse. The fact that Toronto was Gotham. That was cool. I'm thinking about it, Eric. I want to review that movie. That might be on the schedule at some point.
fond of and remember with so much joy and anticipation for each film.
Okay, hi Daleks, good to see you. Welcome Daleks to the stream. We support the extermination. I can't do it right now. If I had a fan, I would be able to do it. But there you go.
Each film. And anticipation, in my opinion, is why the prequels will live on in infamy for some as a disappointment. The prequels, and remember with so much joy and anticipation for each film. And anticipation, in my opinion, is why the prequels,
there we go,
will live on in infamy for some of will live on in infamy for some of will live on in infamy for
well, first of all, they've shot 2 projects here, 3 projects. They shot Suicide Squad here, they shot Titans here, and they shot what is it? There was a CW show that never even got released. That was shot here. All centered around this being Gotham City. In terms of actual real life Gotham, mainly how it's handled. There's a little bit more crime, mainly at night. The architecture looks like Gotham, and also we have Oswald Cobblepot as our premier, Doug Ford. We have Oswald Cobblepot, so that just shows, yeah, we're Gotham City.
Will live on in infamy for some as a disappointment, and that overall the disappointment, and that overall comes down to. And that overall comes down to something I've talked about with all 3 films, with the structure of all 3 films, with the structure of the story. And episode 3 is no exception, and a few of the problems I have with this final chapter.
Okay. If you had to choose a block you like old school Disney shows, would it be Disney Afternoon or was it? One Saturday Morning is what I grew up with. One Saturday Morning is what I grew up with, essentially. That was my Disney Afternoon in a way, because I missed out on the Disney Afternoon. Although I watched a lot of reruns on the Disney Afternoon on Toon Disney, when I used to have the Toon Disney channel. That's where I watched a lot of stuff too. Okay, guys, we're on track number 22, and it's 8 fucking minutes. Good fucking lord. I don't know how long we're going to last on this one, but let's try. Oh, God, it's already good. This review is going to be pushing way past this. Let's go.
As anticipation began right away.
Favorite toy line? It's between Lego, Kenner Star Wars, or Kenner Jurassic Park.
After episode 2, it started off with a pretty damn impressive fan film. As anticipation began right away after episode 2, it started off with a pretty damn impressive fan film trailer using Lego kits from Attack of the Clones that gave many a visual representation. That gave many a clones that gave many a visual represent. That gave many a visual.
All right, you're a reindeer, and here's you're a reindeer. Here's your motivation. Yeah, that's still one of my favorite jokes I ever came up with. That was funny.
Clones that gave many a visual preconception, and it said.
Here we go.
And it said that this trailer is what birthed for fans the speculated title of Rise of the Empire.
Yeah, that was the original title of Revenge of the Sith. Rise of the Empire. That was the one a lot of people thought it was going to be. What is a cartoon that you never see but refuse to watch? Well, okay, technically I watched one episode and I'm like, I don't get this. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I will never watch that. Not a fan. Not a fan. Same thing with Hotel. Don't get me involved in that kind of shit.
There are many theories and preconceptions.
Let's see here. Yeah, the original title. This is what a lot of people thought the title was going to be. Star Wars Episode 3, Rise of the Empire. That never happened, but that was like one of the ideas that was floating around for Episode 3 as a title. Was Rise of the Empire. Let me just try to find where's Star Wars. There we go. Gotta go to Episode 3. Gotta go here. Do I not have the Lego Star Wars Episode 3 trailer? I'm gonna have to go dig that out. Shit. Never watched that. I always curious is where Colin Farmer, your character, does any issues say the scouts that Goku's guilty? It kind of is brand new. It actually started with season 3. It was just kind of implanted because Gallaghar put a curse on the DS chip that I swallowed, that I ate, and that's what kind of started that whole like spiral downhill to like where we ended up. I'm just trying to see here. Also, speaking of Power Glove, somebody brought this up today. Power Glove? I don't know why. This is really funny. Now we are playing with unlimited power! There's something really funny about that. Yeah, I guess I don't have that Lego short. I'm gonna have to grab that. That's weird. Hang on. Do I have it? No, I don't. That's weird. That's really weird. I'm gonna have to go grab that later. That's weird. I don't have that.
Of the Empire. There are many theories.
Or is it this one? No, these are just fan trailers. These are fan trailers for Rise of the Empire. Is it this one? Nope, it wasn't that either. It was an old trailer. Okay. Yeah, it's not. I don't have it. That's weird.
There are many theories and preconceptions of what the film would be for fans. For fans, much like the last two, and this one was no exception. For fans, much like the last two, and this one was no exception. As the clock ticked to the no exception. As the clock ticked, exception. As the clock ticked to the film's release. And this one was no exception, as the clock ticked to the film's release. Many of these speculations in of themselves were actually pretty cool, with one of the wildest rumors being Palpatine already finished a prototype of the main weapon.
Let's see here. Yeah, I have all these different fan posters, too, from when the movie came out. I had to save these, because these are hard to find now. Some of these old fan posters. Like, look at this. These were some of the fan posters for Episode 3, like way before production even started. I like this one. This is kind of new, but I remember posters like this. This one, I think, is an oldie. This is what a lot of people thought the movie was going to look like. There's another one that's older. I like that one, actually. Then there's this one. I like this one, actually, like the metaphor. That's kind of cool. That was a fan poster at the time. And then you have, yeah, these are all the speculations that I have here. The rumor, the stuff. So, yeah, there's like, these are some of the theories at the time it came out. I want to read through these. This is from 2003. 2003. I think Sidious is Palpatine. No shit. But I have read some theories that they are not the same person. It's important to remember that there is nothing official that says that they are not the same person. StarWars.com's database says nothing about them being the same. The encyclopedia, official, unofficial. Yeah, a lot of people thought that was going to be like the clone shit. That Palpatine was actually a clone of Darth Sidious. So, I don't know. It's just interesting how they were already kind of figuring out that speculation. Let's see. Alright, so yeah, that was one of the ideas, that people thought that Palpatine was actually, like, the Chancellor was actually a clone of Sidious. Here's the juicy thought. What if Palpatine cloned himself previously to take care of the two theaters at the same time? See, actually, I would have been down for that, especially what we know now with The Rise of Skywalker. That was from 2003. I do hope that they address that in Episode 3. There would be no closure. Hey, there's Honey Bear with the super chat. Oh my god, thank you so much, Bear. Guys, I'm going to actually put in Honey Bear's website right now. Give me a second. Give me a sec here. Let me try to find this. Because I want to give her a shout out. I want to give her a plug. She's been working so hard lately. Bear, thank you so much for that super chat. I'm just going to throw this in here. Guys, resiliencyme.com. If you guys go to this website, I don't know if I can show it right here, if I can point where the mouse is. Her website helps kids in low-income housing get therapy. Really appreciate you guys go checking out the website. And let's get back to like some of the theories here. There would be no closure if you move to Episode 4 from Episode 3 when without the fight. And man, Naboo gets destroyed. See, this is what I love. This was one of the theories that I absolutely love. Lucas needs to have some kind of major plot twist in Episode 3. That would be a nice twist if he chose to go that direction. The guy, let's see here. Let's see here. I have my own theories. Let's see here. I'm just trying to find it. Also, I'll bet my last dollar that Naboo is not becoming the Death. See, there were rumors that Naboo was gonna become the Death Star, like the catalyst, like it was gonna be domed into the Death Star. That's hilarious. That Naboo is not becoming the Death Star. The statement makes no sense. Lucas does not follow the EU, but he does take into consideration when he's creating his new stories. Naboo is still around when the OT comes around, and we do have evidence of that. But what's funny is, Naboo was added. The reason why this never happened was Naboo was added in the 2004 DVD edition of Return of the Jedi. When you have all the celebrations, at the very end, you see Naboo in that one shot of like, "We set free." That was added for the DVD. That was not included in the special edition. So a lot of people assumed that Naboo was going to become the Death Star. And then you have this one's interesting. I was like, this is the kind of stuff I like. This is what's interesting. I love this. Trying to find it right here. Yeah, here. For years, Star Wars fans have been trying to wonder what the set of circumstances were that led to the fateful lightsaber duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Ever since the release of A New Hope, the theory advanced that was that Skywalker fell into a molten pit, was rescued most likely by the agents of the Emperor, and transformed into the cybernetic visions of Darth Vader. In the novelization of Return of the Jedi, it's suggested that a molten pit may have been a volcano or lake of lava, but Lucasfilm never fully endorsed either tales as the official story. Episode 3 is expected to settle the matter for once and for all. Enter our latest scooper, an individual who wishes to call himself by the Ilthorian name of Mama Nudan. According to Mama, he works at the ranch and knows precisely what's happening to Anakin during his duel with Obi-Wan. But more importantly, he knows what planet the duel takes place on and why that planet no longer exists by the time A New Hope begins. It's an interesting idea that's why we're going to show it to you. As with most of the Star Wars insider info we received, we won't believe a word of it until either our scooper proves to us that they can be trusted off if their prophecy about what company attention will attract comes to pass. Still, even if it's nothing more than some fanboy getting his rocks off, the idea would tie up all the loose strings left dangling about where the Green Lush Paradise of Naboo is, where the events of Episode 4 and 6 take place. Again, this whole theory was retconned because Lucas put Naboo in Return of the Jedi, which is hilarious to me that he actually was coming up with that. So I think that's really funny. Yeah, it sounds like something like the Borg from Star Trek. It was going to be a big giant planet Borg. And here's the thing continues. I think it's about time to give you the scoop of the year. First, let me say that I work at the ranch. I had a chance to look at some primarily drawings of the 3rd chapter of the Star Wars saga. Onto the stuff. Just like any Star Wars fan knows, Anakin Skywalker falls into a molten pit, is badly burned, and then rescued by Palpatine molds him into Darth Vader. Well, Anakin does fall into a pit of lava, that's for sure. But the twist is that the lava is not from a new planet. That's a lie. The often rumored fire planet that will tie in with the other element planets, Tatooine, Earth, Hoth, Ice, Camino, Water, is actually Naboo. That's being slowly disintegrated by a prototype Death Star built by Sidious. If you remember at the end of episode 2, Dooku hands the plans of the Death Star to Sidious. That's it for now. Yeah, that's a lie. Whoever works at the ranch, lie. So basically, yeah, Naboo was going to be a Death Star was going to be a test for the Death Star, a prototype. This never happened. I kind of wish it did, but it didn't. Let's see here. I plan to make Where Calling fan art. Yes, please do. That'd be awesome. Crazy fan theory I can laugh at. Yeah, again, this is the stuff I would have rather have seen. That would have been what happens to in that. So yeah, this is where I had to kind of like go in and kind of look into here the stuff. Let's see here.
There are many theories and preconceptions of what the film would be for fans, much like the last two, and this one was no exception, as the clock ticked to the film's release. Many of these speculations, in of themselves, were actually pretty cool, with one of the wildest rumors being Palpatine already finished a prototype of the main weapon of the Death Star, and would use Naboo as a test subject.
Let's see here.
For the weapon's destructive path. This is also where fans assumed Anakin and Obi-Wan's final battle.
Yeah, the thing that basically,
Use Naboo as a test subject.
That's just sort of what I always thought too was going to happen.
For the weapon's destructive path. This is also where fans assumed Anakin. This is also where fans assumed Anakin and Obi-Wan's final battle would be set up and take place, making it the
Yeah, that was the big theory at the time. This is like the BBC report about a girl who was hired to voice Littlefoot in the live-action. Yeah, exactly.
Battle would be set up and take place, making it the ultimate saber duel, making it the Mustafar duel meets Dragon Ball.
Here we go.
Making it the Obi-Wan's final battle would be set up, making it the Mustafar duel meets Dragon Ball Z, where either one dies or
yeah, that's what I felt would have been better.
Where either one dies or both die, adding tension to the fight itself. There was also hints of what would come from the novelization of Return of the Jedi.
There we go. We're doing pretty good, guys.
There was also hints of what would come from the novelization of Return of the Jedi and interviews with Lucas himself. Hell, a lot of amazing fan art came out waiting. Waiting for this one, like I said, surfing on the web in the early days of the internet.
There's one, okay, maybe you guys can help me out with this. So, I remember early days of the internet, this is like 20 years ago, so just my memory's there, but like nobody can find the shit. I can't find the shit. I remember there was fan art of episode 3. and I only have like a few of them handy. I only have like very few pieces of artwork, like fan art of what was going to happen in episode 3. And I'm trying to find this artwork right now. Just give me a second. I think it's somewhere here. But there was fan art of a lot of speculation of what was going to happen in the third one. And one of them was episode 2 Anakin and episode 2 Obi-Wan. They were photoshopped on just a volcanic kind of landscape. And they were like these wallpapers, and they were really good. So it was mainly episode 2 Anakin and Obi-Wan. And they were photoshopped onto this volcanic planet. I can't find these photos. I can't find these original pieces of fan art. And I want to try to find them. If anybody can find them, let me know. And or for those who do that kind of stuff, like Photoshop stuff, please do send me those. It's like sort of like what they look like. I remember Anakin was laying down on the top, and Obi-Wan was coming forward to the front, or it was the other way around. I can't remember. But it was like a really cool piece of fan art, and I tried to find it for this review, and I couldn't find it. I could find like something that looked like it, but not 100%. And I could never find this stuff. Just to give you sort of what it, like, this is later fan art that was made, and this is the only way I can describe it, but it's a bit more zoomed in, cropped in here. So I'm trying to find that. And if you find it, guys, let me know. You'll have to do some digging, but you have to do some like Wayback Machine kind of shit. But I can't find the stuff. And it really breaks my heart. I can't find half of this shit. Because a lot of it is like really important pieces of art that needs to be shown for this video. If not, I'll just have to like makeshift it and make it myself just to kind of prove a point. But let me just see if okay, because I'm not seeing anything here. Let me check one other place in my archives. It might be in here. It might be in here. But I remember this fan art. But mainly, it was episode 2, Anakin and Obi-Wan on this going up this volcano. That's what I remember. Like, that's what I remember the most. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm just trying to find some stuff here, guys. Give me a second. God, I got a lot of notifications. Anyway. Yeah, here, let me just show you guys some of the artwork I've found in the last little bit. Like, this is one that was from back then. This is like an artwork, like old artwork of what the movie was going to look like. There was this one. Well, that's like the Disney Plus thing. But, like, you know, there's some really good artwork at the time. That's a later piece of artwork, but I'm trying to find, like, the OG pieces. Just give me a second here. Yeah, like this stuff. These are really old pieces of fan art. Like, I kind of like that. Like, that was one of the rumored ones. This was one of the rumored ones. This one, especially. This is an oldie. This is really, you can see by the pixelization how old this is. But a lot of this type of art was pinned out at the time. And it's very hard to find anything else from that period. I love this concept of Anakin, too. It's like, this is some of the fan art I've been able to discover online. Like this one. This one's also a major one here. That was one that was like big at the time. So it's very hard to find like legitimate artwork from that period. You know, like very hard to find this kind of stuff. And if you guys can find them for me, let me know. Because this is like the closest I could find is all these old art pieces. Very hard to come by. Let me see here. Yeah. So yeah, just something to point out, basically, is that kind of stuff. I'm trying to find this type of shit. All right, let's continue. So hang on a second. Give me a sec, guys. All right.
Fan art came out waiting for this one, like I said, surfing on the web in the early days of the internet. One of the coolest was this one showcasing Anakin knighting Anakin. This one showcasing Anakin. Knighting of Anakin. One of the coolest was this one showcasing. Here we go. Showcasing Anakin's knighting. Anakin's show. Coolest was this one. Lego Star Wars was the first game spoiled episode 3 before I saw it in theaters. Yeah, I know. Like, there was a lot of spoilers beforehand, which was kind of like funny to me. They did that. One of the coolest was this one, showcasing Anakin's knighting of Darth Vader in the suit itself. In the suit itself. Yeah, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Something that, in my opinion, on this film, we needed more of. It's clear how fast. It's clear. We're getting there. I'm going to change the song, too, after this. We're probably going to go for another 10 minutes, guys, and then I'm going to call it a night. Let me see here. Just going to change the songs a little bit here, guys. Give me a sec. Oh, there we go. Fuck. Hang on a sec, guys. Clear with how fast production went that Lucas not only needed more time, but more drafts to better structure the story. Gotta turn that down a little bit. There we go. Also, because we're not showing many clips right now, I can just flip over to you seeing me here. Let me just go here. There we go. There we go. Many fans know this would showcase the transformation of Anakin to Vader, and most hope to see more of Vader. Here we go. To see more of Vader in the suit with the additional awesome dialogue from James Earl Jones. Even if not the suit we Earl Jones. Even if not in the dialogue from James Earl Jones. Even if not the suit we would. Here we go. Just gonna go back and add some stuff here. Making it the Mustafar duel meets Dragon Ball Z. There was also hints of what would come from the novelization of Return of the Jedi and interviews with Lucas himself. Hell, a lot of amazing fan art came out waiting for this one, like I said, surfing on the web in the early days of the internet. One of the coolest was this one showcased. Yeah, this one. This visual. I'm gonna just put that in there. One of the coolest was this one showcasing Anakin's knighting of Darth Vader in the suit itself. Something that, in my opinion, yeah, I like that one. One of the coolest was this one, showcasing Anakin's knighting of Darth Vader in the suit itself. Something that, in my opinion, on this film, we needed more of. It's clear with how fast production was. There was also hints of what would come from the novelization of Return of the Jedi and interviews with Lucas himself. Hell, a lot of amazing fan art came out. Yeah, here we go. Out waiting for this one, like I said, surfing on the. Trying to find the right pieces here. One moment. Said, surfing on the web in the early days of the internet. One of the. Just trying to find the right pieces here. instead, surfing on the web in the early days of the internet. One of the coolest was this one showcasing Anakin's
No worries,
meeting
Dean.
with Darth Vader in the suit itself. Something that, in my opinion, on this film, we needed more of. It's clear with how fast production went that Lucas not
let's see
only
here.
needed more time, but more drafts to better structure the story. Many fans know this would showcase the transformation of Anakin to Vader, and most hope to see
That's pretty
more of
close. That's pretty close, actually. Let's see here. I mean, like, close enough. I'll definitely be, if anything, I'll have to Photoshop it, but, like, good find, Star Master. I really appreciate that. Let me just see what the hell did you send here? Oh, God. I want to see what you said. You said add to story. One moment. Oh, God, I'm scared. Let me see here. I love that. That's great. That's fantastic.
With the additional awesome dialogue from James Earl Jones. Even if not the suit we would see, at least a prototype of making it more like samurai armor. Even if not the suit we would see, at least a prototype of making it more like prototype of making it more like samurai armor.
Let's see here.
To better confirm that Anakin is Darth Vader. To better confirm that Anakin is Darth Vader. But sadly this would not come to pass as we would hope, with Vader in costume. With Vader in costume making only an extensive cameo at the end of the film. The suit was completely...
Here we go.
The suit was completely redesigned to not only be
How I got into Star Wars has to do with the app game that collaborated with Star Wars and Angry Birds. Yeah, it's weird how Angry Birds got people into Star Wars. That's hilarious.
asymmetrical, but also a hybrid of the suits prior, mainly from A New Hope and Jedi. But with the continuity of changing the suits in each and every entry, it's probably a given that Vader's suit actually acts like the Vader suit actually acts like the Batman suit.
Yeah, that's my theory. Is that the reason why the continuity with all the Vader suits is different per entry is that he's got different parts that he can put together depending on the moment and on the mission. So Darth Vader's suit is very much like Batman's suit. You can change it out depending on what you're using.
Suit actually acts like the Batman suit, or it varies. Suit.
Like, imagine just having all the Darth Vader pieces and then deciding, I'm going to wear this today, I'm going to wear this today, I'm going to wear this helmet today, I'm going to wear these shoulder pads today. Like, that's how I imagine he goes about it. He decides what he wants to wear every day per mission. You know? It's kind of cool.
It varies mission to mission. It looks cool. Batman suit, it varies mission. Where it varies mission.
There we go.
Where it varies mission to mission. It looks cool, massive, varies mission to mission. It looks...
Hey, whoa! Here we go. Super chat from Johnny Gallaghar. Thank you so much. The Mutodons remind me of the Vulturesaurs. They really do, from Skull Island or the Hollow Earth. I'm curious how that's going to play out. I'm very curious how that's going to go about. Huge thank you, Johnny Gallaghar, for that super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Last minute, too. We're down to the last 2 minutes of the stream. Thank you so much.
Cool, massive, and fresh. It looks cool, and in this film, Vader's mission.
We're getting there.
And in this film, Vader's suit looks cool, massive, and fresh. Kind of like C-3PO's costume.
Okay, we're getting there, guys.
Kind of like C-3PO's costume. For the time, it was pretty cool to see again. But
here we go.
Costume. For the time, it was pretty cool to see again. But dialogue-wise, poor James Earl Jones.
No! Yeah, that's where we're going with this.
Really?
Yeah, we're going with that. We're going with that, guys. In fact, I'm gonna pull out that clip right the fuck now. Let me go back a little bit. Yeah, we're going there. Might as well just get this out of the way. The meme, the line, the infamy. The fact Hayden Christensen not only played Anakin Skywalker, but Darth Vader last scenes. Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. I like that. Where's that? Let's get the line. Let's get it. Where is it? Let me go get it. Good lord. It's somewhere here. I think it's right about here. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up. Time to bring it up.
Earl Jones. Really? We waited close to 30 years for this? No fight with Window, no taking on 50... This?
And I'm just gonna keep playing it. I don't give a fuck. Like, I do not like this line. It would work if it wasn't such a poor-ass take. Like, I'm sorry, this line does not work for me. Yeah, like I'm not a fan of this take. Here we go.
Orgy.
Yeah, right here.
Poor James Earl Jones.
This may be my least favorite segment. Yeah, I like the line in the comic, not in the movie. How about that? There's my thing, okay? There's my middle ground.
Jones. Really? We waited close to 30 years for this? No fight with Window, no taking on 50 Jedi.
Yep.
Close to 30 years for this? No fight with Window, no taking on 50 Jedi at once, no showing his potential with the dark side of the Force. Just a Frankenstein reference with a pig. Just a Frankenstein reference with a painful line delivery.
I'm just gonna keep playing it. I'm sorry.
Honestly, the comic book adaptation I read before the film's release. Honestly, the comic book adaptation I read before the film's release. Yeah, I spoiled myself.
Yep. The line, the legend. There we go. Let's just add this.
Hell, Lego Star Wars even spoiled it. Sounded way better in my head.
Yeah, it did. I actually want to do like a redo of that line, but make it sound like way more intimidating.
It was rage. It was anger. It was a sense of being completely tainted by the malice of evil. It didn't sound...
I actually might use the what? Thinking the no from Hercules was what I would have wanted from that line.
It didn't sound like this.
Yeah, I might actually use the line from Hercules to kind of filter it in. Yeah.
Now that's a special edition. Now that's a special edition I could change. Now that's a special edition change I could follow. Now that's a special edition change I can follow. The audiences weren't...
Alright. Let's just see here.
The audiences weren't sad nor petrified. They were laughing their asses off. How could they do this to one of the most iconic villains of...
Yep. Not a fan. Do not want, as they say.
Now that's a special edition change. They were laughing their asses off. How could they do this to one of the most iconic villains of cinema? Darth fucking Vader! It's the one thing you...
Yep, they fucked it up.
It's the one thing you weren't supposed to mess up, George!
Yeah, I have a problem with that line. I really do.
I was fine with all that transpired that create. I was fine with all that transpired that created him. But this just killed it all at once. Seriously, what the actual hell? Seriously, I've said this so many times in this review, but what the actual hell?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
Just killed it all at once. Seriously, I've said this so many times in this review, but what the actual hell? I even have a problem with Vader's pre-suit.
Alright. I think this is where I'm going to end it for the day, guys. I went a little overtime. But, yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Again, thank you guys so much for joining the stream. I got to get going, getting ready for Anime North tomorrow. If you guys are interested in joining us, Toronto Congress Center from Friday to Sunday. It's right by the airport. I'm going to be there with my collaborators. You can come meet us there. On top of that, Friday, tune in Friday. We have our review of episode 2, the trailer, will be out on Patreon on Friday, but we will also have the trailer out Friday. But the review will be out on Patreon. So if you guys want to go subscribe to our Patreon, you can see it a week early. It's going to premiere May 27th or May 29th, Thursday night, a week tomorrow. 7 or 8 o'clock. We're going to go a little bit early just so people can see it because it is a long review. It's about 2 hours. But you can tune in for that for episode 2. Again, a huge thank you to Honey Bear and everybody who donated the super chats. Also, please check out Honey Bear's website, resiliencymedia.com. Help kids in low-income housing get therapy for mental health. Really appreciate it, guys. But that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching this live stream. I'll see you guys later. BigJackFilms signing off. And happy May 24th weekend. And here's to Anime North. I'll see you guys there. Take it easy. Bye for now.